For decades, Venezuela was considered untouchable, protected by geography, politics, and powerful allies, until one night when none of that mattered. Modern wars are no longer announced. There are no declarations, no speeches to Congress, no columns of troops crossing borders under television cameras. In the 21st century, power moves quietly through intelligence, economic pressure, cyber operations, and elite military units designed to leave no signature behind. This is the age of silent warfare, and few countries illustrate this transformation more clearly than Venezuela. For more than 2 decades, Venezuela has existed at the intersection of ideology, geopolitics, and strategic competition. What began as a domestic political experiment gradually evolved into a regional and global concern. The country's immense oil reserves, the largest proven reserves on the planet, made it impossible for global powers to ignore. But energy alone does not explain Venezuela's importance. Geography does. Venezuela occupies a strategic position at the northern edge of South America, facing the Caribbean Sea, bordering Colombia, and sitting along routes that connect Central America, the Atlantic, and the Amazon basin. Control or influence over this space affects shipping lanes, migration flows, regional security, and the balance of power in the Western Hemisphere. For the United States, stability in this region has always been a core strategic interest, not as a matter of ideology, but of proximity and security. As Venezuela's political system hardened and its economy deteriorated, the country increasingly distanced itself from Western influence. This created an opening that other global actors were quick to exploit. Russia and China did not enter Venezuela as passive observers. They entered with strategic intent. Russia's involvement carried a clear military dimension. Arms sales, intelligence cooperation, advisors, and symbolic gestures, such as the deployment of strategic bombers, sent a message that echoed Cold War patterns. These actions were not about defending Venezuela from invasion, but about signaling Russia's ability to project power into the United States' traditional sphere of influence. China's approach was different, quieter, and ultimately deeper. Through infrastructure projects, energy agreements, technology transfers, and long-term loans, Beijing embedded itself into Venezuela's economic and administrative structures. Surveillance systems, financial dependence, and debt leverage created a form of influence that did not require troops or headlines. Together, Russian and Chinese involvement transformed Venezuela into a geopolitical platform rather than a fully sovereign actor. As state institutions weakened under economic collapse and international isolation, non-state actors expanded their influence. Drug trafficking routes shifted and multiplied, turning Venezuelan territory into a logistical corridor for transnational criminal networks. In many regions, criminal organizations did not replace the state. They fused with elements of it. This fusion blurred the line between governance and organized crime, eroding sovereignty from within. From a security perspective, this represents one of the most dangerous forms of instability. When a state loses control over its territory, borders become theoretical and regional consequences become unavoidable. For neighboring countries and intelligence agencies, this kind of fragmentation is not a domestic issue. It is a regional threat. Over the years, multiple diplomatic solutions were explored. Negotiations, international mediation efforts, and even informal discussions around exile or asylum appeared at different moments. Each path, however, closed without resolution. Sanctions increased, trust collapsed, and political positions hardened. Diplomacy, while not abandoned, lost its ability to produce outcomes. In modern geopolitics, when diplomacy stalls and conventional war is too costly or destabilizing, states turn to a third option: precision power. Precision power is not designed to occupy territory or overthrow governments through force of numbers. Its purpose is to reshape strategic realities with minimal visibility and maximum impact. This doctrine relies on intelligence dominance, speed, surprise, and elite units capable of operating independently in hostile environments. It avoids mass casualties, infrastructure destruction, and prolonged engagement. Instead, it focuses on decisive moments that alter calculations overnight. Units like Delta Force exist precisely for this environment. Delta Force is not structured for traditional warfare. It is built for missions where political consequences outweigh military ones, where success is measured not in territory gained, but in outcomes achieved. Its operations are designed to be deniable, rapid, and psychologically decisive. The power of such units lies not in their size, but in the uncertainty they create. In South America, regional balance also plays a critical role. Brazil, as the region's largest economy and military power, has consistently acted to prevent escalations that could destabilize the continent as a whole. Regardless of political orientation, Brazil's strategic priority has been regional stability and the prevention of external interventions that could spiral into broader conflict. This regional posture constrains both overt invasions and uncontrolled collapse. Within this complex balance, any decisive action would have to be surgical, limited, and politically survivable. It would need to avoid civilian harm, regional backlash, and long-term military entanglement. This is why, in theoretical scenarios, attention shifts away from armies and towards silence. Imagine an operation with no announcement, no confirmation, and no denial. No images released to the press, only indirect signals. Aircraft appearing briefly on radar and disappearing. Communications disruptions, sudden changes in diplomatic behavior. Quiet movements followed by louder consequences. The objective would not be spectacle, the objective would be finality. In such a scenario, a unit like Delta Force would not represent invasion. It would represent precision. The message would not be delivered through speeches, but through outcomes. It would signal not only to Venezuela, but to global observers that power can still move decisively without armies crossing borders. The strategic shock of such an operation would extend far beyond South America. Russia and China would be forced to reassess their assumptions about influence, deterrence, and response. Allies would recalibrate expectations about American restraint and capability. Adversaries would reconsider the belief that ambiguity equals immunity. History shows that global order does not always shift after wars. Often, it shifts after moments. Moments that redefine what's possible what is permissible, and what is inevitable. These moments rarely come with banners or declarations. They arrive quietly, reshaping the strategic landscape before the world fully understands what has changed. In the modern era, the most consequential decisions are made far from public view, inside secure rooms, encrypted networks, and operations designed to take. Whether such an operation ever takes place is less important than what its possibility represents. The age of silent war has already begun, and in this age, history is written not with armies, but with precision.